checking to see if live. Yes. Okay, we are live. Everything seems to be okay. So the goal of this stream right here is to read different types of news related to culture, art, science, anything that we deem interesting and relatable. How do we decide on that? Well, I can start deciding, and then anybody from the chat is welcome to give their opinions. And yeah, we share opinions as well. And you also give your input on what you would like us to discuss next. So we'll just go over some of the news a bit quickly. Like we won't go too deep and read all the news. That would be a bit, I guess, boring, but we'll try and make it um, interactive, and we go land on one piece of news, we read it a little bit, then we go to the other one, and so on uh, to be active. Okay, so the thing that I lined out for us for now is we have here Lonely Planet. I suggest you folks visit this website for those of you that like to travel. So there's all kinds of different articles here. Here's 20 of the best beaches in Europe to visit. So if you're planning on visiting Europe and planning on visiting some beaches, these might be for you. I have to say my personal favorite uh, country to visit in Europe would be Greece, and definitely want to do that throughout the summer. They have long summers, so it's not just August and July, but you can go there in uh, May, June, September. That's all good. Depends on where you want to go. There's lots of islands. They have beautiful food and scenery, and the beaches are awesome as well, and so on. But here in this article, they show a few others. So let's just see what they have for us, what they offer us. It says here Haukeland Beach and the island of Norway. Uh, so Norway is not an island, but this is a Norwegian island. And it looks pretty nice, beautiful. Probably a bit cold though, 15 degrees. Never hitting more than 15 degrees Celsius or 59 Fahrenheit. And yeah, you'll definitely be itching to jump in here, as I see the bathers are in the water already, and they must have some good freezing um, resistance, because yeah, that's pretty cold for a swim. But Norway gets much colder, so I'm guessing these people are used to it and they enjoy it. So yeah, I would not go there for a swim, but I would visit just to see this beautiful scenery. I'll just jump over a few of these. Um, okay, this is in Spain. Not sure if, yeah, so this would be for it. Seems pretty nice with the long sweep of bleach blonde sand and translucent azure waters. Formentera's Playa Iletas, I'm not sure, I'm not good at Spanish, fits the barefoot paradise bill neatly. That's well put, and as we see there, there's lots of sand. Um, The water seems pretty green, but that's like emerald green, which is quite nice. And there's some greenery around as well. Um, Not too much shade. I don't see any like um, places where people would have something to drink, some bars, anything like that. So I'm guessing it's just for you as a tourist. You go there, you put your umbrella or whatever you have to get some sunshade, and that's it, which is fine. I myself enjoy more places where there's a beach bar. Sure, there's more people, but there's more comfort in like getting drinks, food, and all of that. And better shade as well. I like to be in the sun, but also when I'm in the shade, I like to be in a bigger, thicker shade. Okay, Wales. I'm just gonna go over that because yeah, Wales pretty cold. What was this? Portugal. Okay, this seems nice. Beautiful water. There's lots of shade and not that many people. Depends on when this was taken, but yeah, this is something I'd go and visit. Spain, and okay, this then is depiction. This is the Spanish one. This is the Portuguese one because this I know does not relate to Spain. This image. This one is for Greece for Zakynthos, and that's a shipwreck that's quite famous there. It's rusty, so you can climb it, and people do, and take pictures and all that. But it's not recommended because it's all rust, and so you don't want to fall, and you don't want to get a tetanus shot after going on the boat. So yeah, being near it is fine. Climbing on it is not recommended. Um, okay, and there's a cave view for this one. So again, I'm not gonna even try and pronounce this. Playa de Col something in Spain. Um, Mallorca. That is a pretty good view. I love sea caves like this one, and I think they give you a great sort of view of light when the sun goes down and in the mornings and in the evenings. So sunrise and sunset in a sea cave is just wonderful because the water gives that bouncing off um, the glances that you see, and the light just shimmers through the water and jumps onto the cave walls, and it's just wonderful. For that bit, for swimming, not so much because there's a lot of rocks. So yeah, want to avoid that. Okay. And I'll just go quickly here. This looks very nice. And yeah, it's Montenegro. It's a nice place to visit as well. It's got lots of old cities, old towns that you can go to, some beautiful scenery, like, for example, a James Bond movie, Casino Royale, was filmed there, parts of it anyway. And yeah, you can definitely enjoy some beautiful views there. The water depends on where you are. Sometimes it's clean, sometimes not, depending on the place. And the food's pretty tasty, yeah. So you might want to check that out as well. So yeah, Spain, France, Portugal, Greece, Italy, Montenegro, all great places to visit on your way to like a summer holiday in Europe. But Ireland, Denmark, and all those northern countries are beautiful, though cold. So be prepared for that. Um, okay, so these are just travel stories a little bit. I would definitely recommend, for example, Greece, Crete. That's an island. It's their biggest island, and it has some of the loveliest food. The food is almost all grown there, like all the vegetables, the fruit, is from the island, and same goes for the meat. So you get some really fresh food there. You get to feel that difference between that food and food from the mainland that is not so fresh, let's say. So yeah, Crete definitely something you want to visit for food, for scenery, for beautiful beaches. All that. It even has like a pink sandy beach, so great, great to visit. Anyway, I'll jump over to my X page here and just see a few of these stories that we have and discuss them a little bit. So, first one says here, Psychology Today. In our first 5 to 7 years of childhood, we form key lifelong narratives that tell us who we are. Interesting, what to expect from others and how that the world generally works. Here's how to recognize when these narratives are unhealthy or even dangerous. So, interesting article. If you were interested in reading the full thing, of course, go to Psychology Today and get the full article, how to recognize it. Sometimes they give great tips, sometimes not so much, so that depends. But always, whenever you're reading anything like that, just have an open mind and try and look at it in like a critical lens of trying to decide for yourself if something is good or worth your time or not, and why could it be good, why could it be bad. So different angles always helps. And so it's, I'm guessing, quite true that the first, let's say, 7 years of our childhood embed a lot in us. So I'm sure that you, um, as viewers, can remember things from your childhood, some memories of even like the feelings and the way you view the world. You might view it like that still, or you just might have those types of feelings. And so I'm guessing, um, and as we know, the better, the happier your childhood is, then the better you can deal with your feelings later on. But of course, if you have quite a happy childhood, you then might be able to deal with things better in the future. Whereas, um, but it would also depend, right? If you're too protected, then that's not good either. But if you have like a good happy childhood, you might be able to weigh things differently and have that weight of the world of it all on your shoulders and carry it kind of better, right? So yeah, childhood, first 7 years of childhood are very important. Yeah, I'd say so. That's kind of a given. If you have a favorite childhood memory, please you can share it here, and it's gonna probably evoke some happy feelings for you as well, and why for us as well. Why not? Okay, next thing here, news from science. So science news here says the better humans have gotten at making plastic, the more challenging it has been to unmake it, especially the pieces too small to see. So that's like microplastic, nanoplastics, things like that. And yeah, that's pretty bad. Using alternatives to plastic is always better. For example, glass. If you're drinking from a glass bottle, it's better than plastic bottle when possible, and other things as well. So the less plastic we use, the better for everybody. We know those scenes from the ocean, so much plastic in it and all that, but also uh, that also translates to plastic in our bodies. So let's see. Long after plastic bottles and bags break down, they keep fragmenting into particles so tiny conventional filtration can't touch them. So they drift through treatment plants and into waterways unimpeded. So even though we use filtration, we still can't get rid of that small plastic that then gets into our systems and causes all kinds of problems, could cause disease and all that negative stuff that we don't want. So that's why we want less and less plastic whenever possible. And there they enter the food chain and ultimately the body, where they have been found in human organs and are increasingly linked to various diseases. So yeah, that's something we don't want. Avoiding plastic is always good. Enter nanobots. Sounds good. In a new study, researchers showed that tiny magnetic machines made of cage-like materials can tumble through water, sweeping up nanoplastics via the same electrostatic attraction that makes a balloon cling to your hair. Pretty nice. I assume this image or video here shows these nanobots getting that tiny bit of plastic and sticking together and then taking it away. So yeah, nanobots here from this piece seems like a good idea, more or less. Anything that gets rid of plastic is great, as long as it doesn't have other negative effects, of course. But yeah, we should find different ways of getting rid of plastic. I've heard somewhere that there was news of a worm, a particular worm that is able to digest plastic. So it basically eats a bit of plastic and digests it in a way that it then does not create nanoplastic and all that. It just digests it fully, and it's all then taken care of more or less in terms of the environment. So that helps. And any other discoveries that help us with nanoplastic is great, because then we can ensure that our health is better, is improved. So yeah, we've got that going for us. So no plastic. If more research is done, I'm sure more discoveries will be made and more inventions that can help us with this are going to arise. And hopefully one day we'll have something that is kind of like plastic, like durable. That's why we use it, right? Because it lasts long. But we don't want it to last too long, and we don't want it to be toxic towards the entire planet. Like, it's bad for people, it's bad for animals, for plants. So yeah, hopefully we get to that point. Like, we made some we have bags that look like plastic bags, but they still decay quite quickly, and if you leave them out in the rain, they're gonna dissolve faster, much faster as well. So that's like a good example of that. Okay, we have Nature research paper. Um, Astrocytes connect specific brain regions through plastic networks. This, I have to say, no idea. So what this is, and we might go into it later if anybody wants, but let's go to another website and see here what we have. Where to next? So here we have just a traveler's blog, or maybe even a vlog at some point. But yeah, a Bulgarian traveler who's passionate about traveling, working with people, and exploring the world. Yeah. You might want to visit the website. I'm just going through it a little bit. So places I left my heart. Places that I guess maybe she left a piece of her heart there, or they became part of her, probably something like that. Any case, there's some lovely pictures and places that she recommends, like Cuba, Mexico, Peru, and Thailand. Um, yeah, they are they have some similarities to them, I would say. Like when I think of Peru and yeah, alpacas, then Mexico, and I see the that ziggurat behind her. I kind of think that could be in Peru as well. Um, but yeah, it's nice places, warm places to go to, lots of different cultures, and Thailand is quite different and has some amazing beaches. Not that Cuba, for example, doesn't, but Thailand definitely a great place to go if you're a beach lover, and it's not that expensive either, so it's pretty good. Okay, here we have music, film, travel, art, and news. So for news, we can go here, just explore a little bit. Um, yeah, these we don't want to go too much in detail. Um, is there anything fun here? Warner Bros. In 2000. Coyote versus Acme trailer is finally here. Okay, that might be something. AI unlocks mystery behind key El Greco painting. Okay, so for example, let's see that just a little bit. El Greco's famous painting, The Baptism of Christ, has long mystified art historians who had a hard time placing the exact authorship of the work. Now, a new AI tool seems to have unlocked the final answer. That is pretty cool if that happens, if they get the right answer. That's amazing. Yeah, AI can help with a lot of things like this, and I'd say it's pretty useful. People are afraid they're going to lose a lot of jobs because of AI, but there's going to be people who are fixing AI, people who are checking if AI works properly, all that. So there's cause for concern, maybe, sure. We should always think on things like that, but still there's some very good things that AI can do for us, like make these kinds of discoveries that we are unable to. So, yep, take the good, take the bad, and then see how you feel about AI, and um, share your thoughts in the comments as well. 1608 to 1614 painting was made toward the end of the artist's life, painted for one of the three altarpieces commissioned for the Church of Hospital del. Okay, Tavera. Um, Let's see, the AI system used the machine learning model known as Patch, which begins by scanning the surface of the painting using high resolution 3D imaging. This captures the peaks and hollows left behind by a painter's brush, which are mapped, segmented by segment in search of irregularities in hand eye work. Interesting handiwork. So AI maps it all, and it takes it probably a few seconds to do that, and then it can tell us what the pattern is, and that pattern matches this artist, or this pattern matches this artist, and that's pretty cool. No human can do that, and especially not in that amount of time. So very short time gives you the answer, and we shouldn't take it just as at face value. That's for sure. We just can't say, yeah, okay, That's it. That's the truth. We should check it, but it still makes it much faster for us to get to some answers. So that's great, I'd say. Um, the AI here gets win. That's a W. Another website, Culture Tourist, um, art and culture travel blogs. So yeah, here you can see where some art galleries are showing, what they're showing, what kind of thing you can see in your area or a place near you, maybe a country near you, if it's a famous art gallery that you want to see, art exhibition, anything like that. So that's fun. But there's also travel. So if you're, for example, wanting to travel somewhere, there's destinations, traveling tips. That's always a good thing to know for a traveler. Some tips on like where to go, where not to go, how much to spend, how much to bring, um, what to think of when you're going places, anything like that. And there's like, as you see, cultural tourism, lifestyle, museum reviews, museum videos, and museum tips. They have a web shop, art tours, all fun stuff. So yeah, um, I'd say it's a good thing. All right, and here we can just see a few of them. Get inspired women in the Museum collection. Um, It first opened its doors in 1885. It was designed as a temple to Dutch identity, art, and history. Interesting for Dutch people, mostly, and for um, people interested in Dutch culture. So nice. The museum's architect, Pierre Cypers, maybe, was a man. Its directors were men, and the artworks on display were almost exclusively made by the great male masters of art history. For a long time, it felt as if there were no women in Dutch art history. That's a shame. Today, that is finally changing. In 2021, the again that launched the Women of the Lunch, however you pronounce it. Sorry, but yeah, I'm not good at Dutch names or Dutch language for that matter. They project to correct this historic imbalance. So from the Middle Ages to the modern era, keep on reading to meet women who shaped the Dutch soul. That's excellent. So from what I've gathered here at least, um, even though there were no or very little women in Dutch art history or art before, now they're trying to uh, change that. And I mean, they can't change history. They're adding more women to art, which is a good thing, I'd say. It's only natural to have women and men in art, and every person offers something different. So the more differences there is in art or anything else, I think the better in terms of creativity. Um, it of course should be of high quality. So it's not just that it should be different. Um, it should be of good quality and it should be different. So we can't just say, oh yeah, this is different, so I'll just put it here and I'll compare it to the same standard as I do something else. I mean, you should compare it, but you shouldn't put it at the same pedestal. Like, for example, something that Leonardo da Vinci created, and If some other person comes and says, "Oh, this is different, so I'm like Da Vinci," no, you need to be compared. And if you really are that good, then we should be like, "Wow, this is amazing." But um, we can't we can't do that for uh, things that are not of that quality. So yeah, if things are of a high quality and are bringing something different to whatever, in this case, art like paintings, but anything else as well, then it's definitely a win, a big win. And um, just one more website I wanted to show. So here, all that is interesting, or all that's interesting. Here, it's usually more historic news, archaeology. There are some discoveries, ancient history, again, ancient history, archaeology, so it's connected. Crime and discoveries, again. So, um, for example, in these discoveries, a metal detectorist in England has uncovered a bizarre 1,100-year-old coin depicting John the Baptist. That's a lucky find, and I'm not sure how the laws in England go, but if he found it, I'm hoping that he can um, get something from it as well. It's his find. He should, of course, get some fame, but he could get a reward, maybe. That'd be nice for him. Yeah. So that's a good find. And a rare Roman uh, phallus that may have been used to ward off evil spirits was just found in a Dutch museum. So again, Dutch people found something though, but just funny how that works. Wind farm construction in England has turned up ancient ruins, including a Roman villa and a Neolithic burial mound. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, lots of discoveries are made when people start construction on a project. They need to, of course, dig and test the soil samples and all that. That way, we get lots of information from the soil, but then again, when that digging is done, they can discover some archaeological findings. Could find some maybe old buildings. That's mostly what they find, I guess. And sometimes it could be fossils or artifacts, which is all fun and gives you a more detailed view of that area and the history there. So always good. Um, so yeah, that's this website. So all that's interesting you can find. So mostly interesting finds related to history, to archaeology, things like that. And we can go there as well if anybody wishes. But yeah, and open culture, the best free culture and educational media on the web. That's what they say, and I do uh, think you should visit the website as well if you're interested in culture of different countries, and I think we all should be, at least to some extent. And there's a few um, different things that they have. So they have these essentials, as you can see, and great lectures. So there's videos, there's texts, news, there's courses like language lessons, business courses, free textbooks, free books. They got a lot of good stuff that you can use for your studies. And I do recommend them. And also, they have texts like these um, in this Why Animals Look So Strange in Medieval Manuscripts. They offer videos for some of them, and there's the text as well. So which is great if you're learning a language as well. If you're learning English, for example, and you're like an intermediate level speaker, then reading an article in English is a great way to improve. In any case, I think we all saw some memes of animals like dogs, cats, mostly, but even here depiction of a whale that look very weird in those old paintings. So yeah, um, I'll just read the first two lines. Though you may not hear it every day, uh, chimera remains an evocative word, perhaps even more so for its rarity. It descends from the Greek chimera, literally year-old she-goat, the name of a mythical fire-breathing creature with a caprine body, sure enough, but also the head of a lion and the tail of a dragon. So yeah, mythical creature with all kinds of different um, body parts resembling different creatures. And yeah, that is indeed a chimera, depending however the proper Greek pronunciation is. But that kind of figure was definitely seen a lot in these medieval or Middle Ages paintings. So it is interesting to discover why that is. Um, I think we won't have too much time to dissect all of this, but um, let's see, let's just read a little bit. Um, so the video above from the Curious Archive presents a gallery of medieval chimeras, both intended and not. So some were made by mistake and some were not. These include spiked sea turtles, small tigers without stripes, hippopotamuses with dorsal fins, elephants with entire stone castles on their backs. Wow. Okay. Mistakes of this kind were perhaps inevitable, given the difficulty of coming by such exotic animals in medieval Europe, even for artists with access to a royal court. So this is a great point. They couldn't just go on the internet and take a look at any creature they wanted. They would get depictions from other people that saw these animals, and then they would try and paint them or um, create them on paper. So imagine yourself not knowing of an elephant and you see it for the first time and you're probably scared, excited, there's adrenaline, there's all kinds of things going through your mind at that moment. And then how do you describe that to somebody else? And then that description, your description, goes into their mind, and then they paint what they imagine in their mind's eye. So there, that makes it quite sorry, that makes it quite easy for mistakes to be made and for creatures of this sort to be born on paper. That explains a lot, right? So yeah, mystery solved. Um, Inaccurate medieval art of animals is now resolved. But if you want to dwell deeper, I suggest you go to this link and to this website, that is, and see for yourself what the details of the story are and find some other interesting stories along the way. Why not? Okay, I'll just go back here and see if we have anything else that is of any interest. That is body workout at home. Okay, I'll just comment on this. Seems fitting. The perfect full body workout at home, no gym, no excuses, just structure, consistency, and results. Save this and follow along. Now, things like this, this obviously is a type of advertisement, and it is possible for you to do a full body workout. What that would entail is not actually the full body. It means the major muscle groups, so the upper body, like chest, arms, stomach, probably, and back. So that, and then legs with like just focusing on thighs, probably, and that's that's probably most of the those full body workouts. There's a whole bunch of muscles that you can't just target with that. Um, what you can do is this workout plus then other types of workouts or other workouts later on in other days. So don't think that just one workout works everything and that's all you should be doing. Basically, you should do different types of workouts, different types of even activities and sports, so that you manage to activate the whole body. Why you want to activate the whole body? Basically, because um, it can be just for muscle growth. If that's what you want, that's fine. But it's also for um, your health, for activating your posterior chain, for that means your posture and how you move. Just to give you an example, if you work out, just you do, for example, push-ups, dips, squats. You can say that's a full body workout because it works your chest, works your arms, works your core a little bit, your shoulders, and you do legs, like thighs and glutes, big muscle. Um, you will maybe um, you'll feel better, that's for sure. You'll improve those kinds of muscles, but you still won't affect, for example, your lower back a lot. You won't affect your joints. You won't um, improve your coordination. You won't improve some reflexes, and so on. So there's a whole bunch of things that you want to work on in terms of, or when you're focusing on longevity, overall um, feeling like better, feeling good, um, being strong, being efficient in terms of anything. Like, um, and why I mentioned sports as well is because they do work muscles, they work your nervous system as well, they work your cardio, they work your hand-eye coordination, things like this. So you can't just by going, for example, to the gym or going to a park and doing calisthenics, you can't practice movement of, let's say, catching something, whatever is thrown your way. Um, and doing just one type of sport again won't make you good at all sports, but it will improve your overall um, fitness level, yeah, but also your reactions, your adaptation to other sports. So if you get good at football, you could be better at later on at basketball, even though it's two different sports, because you kind of get the momentum of how much energy to exert in a specific situation. Maybe better how to judge the distances between players, between you and the hoop, and so on. Even though in football, like soccer, football, you use your feet, your legs, and for basketball, obviously, you use your hands more. You won't, it doesn't mean that the more you play football, the better a basketball player you become. It just means that you get like a better base of overall sports understanding and um, activity, playing sports, than you do compared to a person who doesn't do any sports. Simple. So yeah, um, my advice would be try and be more active, more engaging in different types of activities so that you feel better and that you are healthier. That's the main thing. Healthier and feeling better. Then uh, the body composition, how you look, that comes um, regardless. Like if you work out, if you do these things, your body will change and you'll look better, which is a nice addition. But the focus, I think, should be on the health and the mental aspect. Okay, now I am trying to think of like we'll need to end the stream in a minute, but if we get more people alive in the stream, that's the hope at least, then we can be more proactive and interactive with these articles or anything that we are focusing and reading on. Here, I just wanted to show you a few different types. So we read a little bit, or we covered a bit of psychology, a bit of history, a bit of art, culture, and travel, and here we covered exercise and sports. So that's just a touch basically on each of these topics. Next time, if we have active participants, we can then focus on something that people choose, and we can dive deeper into something and hopefully have a more fun discussion. That's at least the goal, hence the fun in the daily use uh, section there. But if not, that's fine. We don't have to do this every time. So yeah, just a thought, just something that we could might do, but we don't have to. Anyway, that's it for now. Would like to thank you for watching. Uh, Hope it was at least a little bit interesting for you, and hope to see you again next time. So have a great rest of your day, and yeah, see you next time. Stay active, stay healthy, and stay interested in learning new things. That's always good. Yeah. Take care.